What's going on, guys? This is Travesty here, and today I'm bringing you my Week 3 YOLO League Team Builder and Battle. So this video is going to be quite late because only time we could battle was on Saturday, and then I had a lot of stuff to do Saturday and Sunday and Monday, so I'm recording this Monday night. I'm going to try and edit, render, etc. as quickly as I can and get it uploaded, so this will most likely go live early Tuesday morning. So we'll see how all that goes. In any case, this week I am facing off against Gaius and the Oklahoma City Thundurus. So someone who also doesn't upload, don't know his battle style, etc. And I will leave his Twitter link in the description anyway. And his team will be coming up for you on the right just now. And as you can see, he is bringing, hang on, why is this not working? There we go. Heatran, Mega Gardevoir, Hydreigon, Chestnut, Crobat, Seismitoad, which he sniped from me, Escavalier, Punchgrove, Frostlass, and Ampharos. I don't know why I pronounce Frostlass as Frostlass, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm thinking Frozone. Anyway, so looking at the team matchup, I have absolutely jack fucking shit for Mega Gardevoir in terms of switch-ins. It absolutely dops my team. I looked into Piappa Berry Roserade, but it still gets OHKO'd by a Psyshock even through the Piappa Berry if I run offensive and I can't OHKO it back with a Sludge Bomb. So that was sort of pointless. Basically, I'm going to have to try and check Mega Lopunny, not Mega Lopunny, I have Mega Lopunny, try and check Mega Gardevoir. I'm going to have to just build the mons in a way so that they can check it potentially. Other threats on his team, Hydreigon, it can sort of run through my team if I let it. Chestnut is a very, very likely bring because it walls a lot of my mons. I'm sort of expecting, this is recorded afterwards, but I was expecting Heatran, Mega Gardevoir, Hydreigon, Chestnut, then probably Punchgrove, Crobat, one of like Seismitoad, maybe Escavalier, I wasn't really sure on the last one. But definitely those top 4 mons, and then probably Crobat, but I wasn't certain. I was also expecting like Scarf in a focus Crobat because that sort of deals with Lopunny, etc. Anyway. Looking at my team though that I brought to deal with him, this is actually the second team I built. I had built a different team which involved a Screens, Memento, Psychic, Gardevoir, a Workup, Agility, Baton Pass, Sub, Lopunny, physically offensive so that an uninvested Chestnut's Drain Punch wouldn't break a sub, guaranteed. And then I pass into Greninja with Waterfall instead of Gumshot because of +2 with Workup. I just OHKO'd his Mega Gardevoir and everything else with Ice Beam, and I can't remember the other move. Grass Knot for the Seismitoad. And yeah, that OHKO'd his entire team. But because we battled on Saturday, I had that team built on about Thursday, and was like, okay, cool, I'll leave it. And I was like, I'm gonna change some things, I don't know what months, like the last 2 months I want to bring out, etc. End up rebuilding an entire different team after I got drunk on Friday night. So that was probably a really bad idea, because I lost faith in my own memes, and never lose faith in your memes. Anyway, what I decided to go with instead is the team you see in front of you. I'm just going to point out, I'm not going to leave a timestamp to the battle because that involves effort, and this is already super late and I'm already super tired, so that's not going to happen. And there will be no layup this week because, like I said, super late, super tired, etc. Getting back into the team. So, Mega Lopunny you see in front of you, I have enough speed to outspeed Crobat, also allows me to outspeed his base 100 before Mega Evolving, namely the Mega Gardevoir, so I can just return that thing if it's in a revengeable range, and yeah, allows me to outspeed Crobat if it's not Scarfed, even if it's max speed Jolly. I'm running Toxic because he's switching his Chestnut 100% of the time, so if I can get that thing Toxic, put it on a bit of a timer, wear it down, and that's great. High Jump Kick because it does damage to everything like Heatran, Hydreigon, best thing to hit Chestnut with ideally. I mean I could run Bounce but then he runs Spiky Shield and Nose Cry. Yeah, just kind of OHKOs most of it, does a lot of damage to most of his team, Return because that does a lot of damage to most of his team, then Fake Out because Fake Out is Fake Out. You know, super standard Mega Lopunny except with Toxic and super standard EVs for the things I need EVs for. I bring a Expert Belt Greninja, which is actually a Rash nature because uninvested Expert Belt, I don't think that was the nature I brought in the... I think this is a different set because I think I actually had some attack investment. Because I remember... Anyways, it doesn't matter. I think what my actual set was that much speed, and then 170 something, 176 into attack. I think that's what I brought, because that is guaranteed to Oko a max HP Gardevoir, I believe, with the extra belt. And enough speed to outspeed based on hundreds, because his speed tiers go Crobat and then Frostlass, but I didn't really expect Frostlass, and even if he did bring it, like, I'm a Greninja, and it doesn't really have a great matchup against my team, so I basically decided to speed creep my Gardevoir, and yeah, it just does things. I was going to run Waterfall instead of Scald, end up running Scald, so unfortunate. But yeah, that's, I explained it when I explained that when I had the Meep team, Greninja just kind of Okos most of his team, or 2 carries everything, and if I'd got boost into it, it would just Oko. But anyway, next up is a meme set. Oh, I was going to bring Surskit, because Surskit actually 2-shots his entire team with Life Orb, Hydro Pump in the rain, except for Seismitoad, which dies to Giga Drain, sorry, and Chestnut can't take an Ice Beam, Hydreigon can't take an Ice Beam. So yeah, that would have been really fun, but I didn't bring it. Anyway, because I didn't know how I could set up the rain effectively, because I didn't trust in the memes. Believe in the memes. Anyway, the meme that I did bring is a Salt Vest physically offensive Gardevoir. This is the other thing on my team that doesn't get too KO'd by Mega Gardevoir on his side. So I was like, I'm gonna bring a bulky Assault Vest on, because I can switch in, I can trace his Pixelate, and then combination of Return and Shadow Sneak is a guaranteed Oko. So I'm going with that. Brave Nature, because I also wanted to run Psychic, because that did more to Chestnut if I don't get the Trace Pixelate boost, and does a lot to Crobat and that kind of thing. Hidden Power Ground for the Heatran, and yeah, that's a pretty self-explanatory set, even though it's a complete fucking meme. Brave Nature, because I didn't really need the speed, I couldn't speed creep like Seismitoad or anything anyway, so it's just like, I'll just run minus speed, deal with being slow and bulky. Next one is Scarf Excadrill with 3 attacks and rocks, because I want rocks, and I want Aerial Ace for Chestnut. I ran enough speed to outspeed a Heatran, so it outspeeds Crobat, first of all. It also outspeeds a Heatran that is speed creeping my Megalophony. Normally I don't do shit like this with people I don't know, but it meant I could run Adamant, and that gives Earthquake a really good chance to Oko Mega Gardevoir, meaning I didn't have to run Iron Head. So that's why I went with that, because I was like, maybe he'll, it's his 3rd league match, if he's never played League before, and he probably has, because most people have, and most people speed creep, because that's just good prep. So I ran a Moldbreaker Earthquake, just kind of shits on his team, except for Crobat and Honchkrow. It's literally it, and Chestnut. Crobat, Honchkrow, and Chestnut. So I have Rock Slide to hit the 2 flying types, and Aerial Ace to hit Chestnut. I can 2-KO it if it's fully Fizz Death. Unfortunately, Lead Seed and Spike Shield leftovers and stuff make it difficult, but if I predict the switch, I can 2-KO it, or at least get off a big chunk of damage and he switches out again. Choice Scarf, because Choice Scarf Excadrill is like the only set you can run if you're not bringing Sand. Obviously that's not true, but it's sort of the only one that I really felt like I could work with here. I could have gone Assault Vest, but I really wanted rocks, I didn't want to bring Assault Vest, so that's that. Next up is a really specific Zapdos set. So this is designed to not get 2-shot by an Adamant Life Orb Sucker Punch from a Honchkrow, so I can, if I know I'm above 50%, I can just click Thunderbolt, no need to worry about Sucker Punch buying games. Enough speed to outspeed said Honchkrow, I believe, and then enough Special Bulk to where I can take any hit from a Gardevoir, from Hydreigon, from a certain amount of health, and T-Wave them. Can do the same with Heatran potentially, and stuff like that. Basically just all-around Pokemon. Mixed defensive Zapdos with Thunder Wave, just to try and cripple things, make them slower, because then I can potentially get full powers and I can outspeed them with the rest of my team, basically. Roost for recovery, HP Ice, because he's electric resists, don't like ice except for Seismitoad, and I can deal with Seismitoad with Trace Water Absorb and Grass Knot and things. And yeah, so this took a lot of calking. This is me drunk calking, but like run that EV spread and it like takes every hit I need to from his team. It's great. Anyway, and the last one is a offensive Expert Belt Trick Room Coat Fagrigus, because his Ghost Resist is a Hydreigon, and a lot of his other things, he has a Honchkrow as well, both of them are weak to ice. Chestnut is immune to Shadow Ball but is weak to ice, so I can just run an HP Ice and Shadow Ball, and that hits everything I need to. and this gives me another potential answer to make Gardevoir because I can stay on it, I can live one Hyper Voice guaranteed, I can live one Shadow Ball guaranteed, although it has no real reason to run Shadow Ball, but anyway. And then get off Trick Room, and then Shadow Ball for me does a lot with the Expert Belt. If I manage to get up a nasty plot on a switch or something like that, and then Trick Room, and then I can actually do a lot of damage to his team. Just super standard Trick Room spread. I literally just clicked the suggested spread for this one because I didn't see any reason to do anything else. And so that's going to be the team. The other team I had, as I mentioned, was Greens Memento, Gardevoir into Baton Pass, sub work up Agility Lopunny into 3 attacks, sub Mystic Water Greninja that would have OHKO'd literally his entire team. And then I was going to bring a Sash Excadrill, lead Excadrill with like Rocks and Earthquake and stuff, and a Zapdos, and then I wasn't sure what I wanted for the last one, so I put Surskit on there. That was the other team I built, and then I completely changed it because I was like, I'm going to lose. So with that, I'm going to get straight into the battle. So I am back here with the battle. As I mentioned, no layout because that takes too much time, and this is already going to be super late, so I don't want to do that. So looking at the team that he brought the Ampharos, which I wasn't particularly expecting, but I guess it can serve as a switch into Greninja if he wants to, but you know, Skull Burns, and if I was running fully physical, which is a possibility, then it wouldn't really be a switch in. Mega Lopunny does a lot of work if I can weaken that Chestnut. Excadrill does a shit ton of work because it literally just kind of destroys his team. And Zapdos just kind of has a good matchup against everything, so that's what I decided to lead with, reasoning that no matter what he leads with, I can either take it in 2 ways. If it leads to make Gardevoir, if it leads with Hydreigon, I can just stun the wave and not worry about it. If it leads with any of the others, I don't really care about any damage they can do to me, so I decided to just go with my Zapdos, as he decides to lead with Crobat. And he's going to go for U-turn. I knew he was going to go into Ampharos and wanted to switch, but knew he'd go to U-turn because I actually had pressure, not static, which is a mistake on my part. There is no reason for me not to have static. I just didn't change it because I was drunk when I built this team. Don't do Absinthe, guys. Just don't do Absinthe. Anyway, he goes for U-turn. I calc that damage and realize he has to be Adamant Choice banned, which means he's not Scarf Chance for Lopunny, which is good. I just went for Thunderbolt. I'm sorry if you could hear my laptop being a bitch. Because I don't have Volt Switch, which would have been nice because I knew it was going to go into Ampharos. I don't really want to deal with Ampharos. So I just stay in, and no, I switch into Excadrill. Because it's an Ampharos, and I'm like, what can this do to me? He predicts that really well and goes into the Chestnut, which I did consider just staying in and getting off damage with Zapdos. If I had, this would have been really good, because I could have weakened the Chestnut. Here, I predict him to predict me to switch and go for the Aerial Ace to get some good damage. He goes for Leech Seed, and starts wearing me down a little bit, gets some health back to the range where I can't kill him with another Aerial Ace, so I decided to switch out into my Zapdos again, predicting him to attack this time, predicting me to stay in, which is what happens. He goes for the Drain Punch, and he is indeed uninvested Chestnut. So again, if I'd been static, could static, but you know, that's bad prep on my part. Both get some leftovers. Here, I think I just click HP Ice. No, I pull a double. Man, I'm sorry, this is going to be terrible. I pull a double into Excadrill, predicting the Ampharos to come in. As that is exactly what happens, I believe. No, it goes into Heatran. I'm going to pause it right here. So he went into Heatran, predicting, I guess, HP Ice or Air Cutter or something of the sort. That is one reason for running pressure, I guess, is I could bluff the Air Cutter, but HP Ice is overall better, so I can just run that. Now here, you know, he could be Scarf Giant, I don't really know what set he is, but in my mind, my plays are go for Stealth Rocks, go for Aerial Ace, predicting the Chestnut to come back in, or go for Earthquake. Now, given I've already revealed the Aerial Ace, I'm expecting him to stay in, expecting me to expect the Chestnut, if that makes sense. So I stay in and click Earthquake right here, because I think I outspeed this thing. But I don't, because he's Timid Max Speed Scarf. Why is he Timid Max Speed Scarf? No reason, because he clicked the suggested spread on Showdown, and doesn't speed creep. My fault for not prepping like I normally do, and prepping for someone who I don't know how they play, prepping to assume they won't speed creep things. Which means I lose my Excadrill, which is super unfortunate, because if I had run Jolly and outsped, I would have just killed this Heatran, and I'd be up 5-6, not the other way around. So here I decided to switch into my Gardevoir. At this point I actually message a group chat and say I've lost because I was in a really shitty mood and everything was just going bad. I go into my Gardevoir because I know he's Scarfed, I have Flash Fire, there's no way he's staying in, and I just click Psychic, I believe. Man, I can't remember what I was doing in this game. Yeah, I click Psychic, it doesn't do much because this is a specially defensive Ampharos. I don't really want to stay in and take damage because I want as much health as I can to deal with that mate Gardevoir potentially, so I switch out into my Zapdos as he goes for the Volt Switch. Unfortunately giving him momentum, and he chooses to go into the biggest threat to my team, which is Mega Gardevoir. Now, when all of that catches up with my super fast talking, because this little bit I do remember, you will see that I am at 65% with Zapdos, and a minimum roll from this thing with my spread, if he is max speed timid, which I expect him to be, is like 59%, and a max roll is like 70%, so I have a 50-ish% chance to live this, but I don't. If I had lived, would have gotten a T-Wave off, then could have switched in Gardevoir and outsped and killed with return. Anyway, basically I wouldn't have lost Zapdos for nothing. There I lose Zapdos, here I go into Gardevoir and I click return because I'm like, he's not going to expect return, he's not going into Heatran because like I could just click HP ground, but he's probably going to switch thinking I might be Scarf Shadow Ball or something. Return does 50% to Ampharos, and here 100% my play is to go for HP ground. I don't think it will kill this Ampharos, but like what can Ampharos do to me? And if he switches into Heatran, I can get a big chunk of damage off, it's exactly what it does, but I click the return because I don't know what I was doing, honestly. You can probably tell at this point the game's not going my way, and from my commentary that I lost this, so stick around to the end to see why. I go into Micro Ninja because at this point it's the only thing that can really switch into Heatran, particularly when it's going for Flash Cannon, but it can take it reasonably well, even though I am in minus for Def Nature. Now here I just click Scald because Scald Burns, I can get Scald Burns, and Scald Burns are always good. He goes into the Ampharos, Scald is clean to a KO, so I have no reason not to click it again next turn because there's no reason to reveal that I'm not choiced or something. So I go for Scald, Ampharos goes down. Yay, the thing that I didn't really expect to come is now dead, having done almost nothing, except switch in a couple of times. He brings in the Gardevoir, I have Gunk Shot. Now I'm going to pause it, too late, you see that I missed from the animation. I was going to run Wide Lens with Attack Investment to guarantee I kill an offensive one, end up running Expert Belt because that guaranteed I killed a bulky one as well. I was also considering running like Mystic Water and Waterfall and going fully physical with like U-turn and shit like that. I decided against that. U-turn and low kick and Waterfall I think I can't exactly remember. Anyway, and even if I just had Waterfall, I could have gone for it here. I think I had a roll to kill if I was like max attack with that Mystic Water. But unfortunately I miss a Gunk Shot, and that means my Gardevoir survives, and Oko's Micro Ninja with Hyper Voice because like it's a Hyper Voice. I don't have switch-ins. Like Gardevoir can take 2 Hyper Voices. I probably should have switched and not risked the miss, but at this point I was like, I'm just gonna kill it. So you can see in chat, like I get a little bit salty, and I pretty much already lost at this point. I just want to get a kill with Return Gardevoir, and I do because I get a crit. Crit didn't matter. I had Shadow Sneak. He could have switched out and tried to preserve differential, but like whatever. Then Gardevoir did his thing. He goes into Crobat. I realize that I don't have a switch into an Adamant Choice Band and Crobat, so I just go for Shadow Sneak for a bit of damage. Gardevoir, the crit king or queen or whatever, gets another crit and dies to this Brave Bird. Here I decide to go into Lop because basically the only way I win this at this point is getting a Toxic on the Chestnut, getting a bit of chip damage on the Hydreigon, and then using Cofagrigus to break through the... Basically, I need to use one of Cofagrigus and Lopunny to break through his team, wear things down, and then the other one can clean up. And I figure right here, if I went into Cofag, you'd probably just switch in Hydreigon, I could get like 50% off and then I'd die to a Dark Pulse, and that would be if I set up the Trick Room. If I set up Trick Room, other things would be slower than my Lopunny, etc. So I go into Lopunny, pray to gods that he isn't in a focus, because I just click Fake Out here. I did kind of expect the Chestnut, but I also figured if he went into Chestnut, I could just go into Cofagrigus and work around it that way. He's not in a focus, which is great. And here, I thought he was going to just sack his Crobat because, like, it's not super useful. Like, I outspeed and kill it with Lop, and it can't kill, like, if I was a bulky Cofagrigus, it wouldn't be able to kill me anyway. So I was like, oh, he'll just sack it and not risk me getting a crit high jump kick or a crit return or something on his Chestnut switch in, but no, he goes into Chestnut, as I just go for a return. And right here I decide, I think he's going to probably go for Leech Seed or Seed Bomb or something predicting my Cofagrigus, right, because it's a Cofagrigus, it can just shut him down and be a pain in his ass. So I go for Toxic, wanting to get a Toxic on him to wear him down. Unfortunately he goes for Drain Punch and puts my Lopunny way down low, which sucks because now I'm in range of a bunch of things, whereas if I'd been at full health I could have taken a hit from Scarf, Heatran and Ocroed it, etc. So now I make the switch into my Cofagrigus because I can't take a hit with Lopunny regardless, as he just goes to Seed Bomb because that's his best middle ground play. And here I've lost, there's literally no way around it, because Lopunny is too low to take a hit from Scarf Heatran, and Cofagrigus can't do enough damage to everything without a Nasty Plot up and Trick Room up. So the other way I win is if he stays in and lets me set up with Cofagrigus, and then I can start to do damage and I get, you know, maybe a crit on Heatran. So I decided to go for Trick Room because I figured he was probably going to switch and at least I could get some damage off. You know, maybe if he's minus Spadef and I crit or something, I can kill. So I go for Trick Room as he goes into Hydreigon. I then go for HP Ice, does over half, which is pretty impressive for a Cofagrigus, but they're able to just kill me with their Dark Pulse. And then I go into Lopunny. There are too many turns of Trick Room left, so even if I fake him out or whatever, he can just go back into Chestnut. So here I just click High Jump Kick, hoping that something will happen, but no, he just goes Dark Pulse and kills me because I was really weakened by the aforementioned misprediction. So I lost. There are some things that I'm obviously a little bit angry, well not angry, I guess salty, but I'm not like super salty because I've gotten my fair share of luck in the past 2 seasons, so I can't complain about missing a Gunk Shot. Especially when I had better plays to make. Honestly, I'm just disappointed in my performance. I like to think I'm not terrible at Pokemon, but if you watch this game you would think I'm pretty terrible at Pokemon, and look, sometimes I am. It happens. I wasn't in a good headspace to battle this week, I had a lot of other shit going on, but it's a league, you have to battle during the week at some point. It was unfortunate that it had to be a Saturday, it couldn't have been earlier, but that's how life happens. So, in any case, I hope you guys did enjoy. Sorry this is super duper late, but I didn't really have much choice. And I will see you in my next upload.